Good morning, everyone. Reva here with Quality Sewing. I'm so glad that you're joining me today, and we are about to get sticky. What? What is that all about? Well, we're going to talk about stabilizers and specifically sticky stabilizers. I often say which white stuff is the right stuff, so we're going to be talking a little bit about that. And there's three main types of sticky that we're going to be talking about. A sticky tearaway, which is Hydrastick or Perfect Stick. So Hydrastick is from OESD, and Perfect Stick tacky is from Floriani. And then we're also going to be talking about Wet and Gone tacky, which is Floriani, or Hydrastick, which is, well, maybe that's not the name of it. Anyway, OESD has a product too. Sorry about that. Hydrastick is this one right here, and this is just a unique beast, and we are going to explore that as well. So hi to everybody. Thank you for saying good morning and where you're from. That's really awesome. I love that. Anyhow, so let's talk about just our standard basic, what is a sticky stabilizer in general. So a sticky stabilizer is one that is going to be paper on one side, and then there is a stabilizer on the other side. And the back side of the stabilizer, I have a little scrap right here. So the paper on one side, and then there's the stabilizer on the other. And then let's go to this camera. I see Carrie's trying to help me here, and I'm helpless. So, okay, so you got the stabilizer on one side, paper on the other. I'll say that. I'll see how many times I can repeat that today. And then with the on the back side of the stabilizer, there's actually a sticky surface, right? So it's tacky, just tacky. Okay, all right. Okay, so what that's going to do is help you hoop the things that you can't normally hoop very easily. So let's talk about the basic sticky tearaway. So this would be Perfect Stick from Floriani, and then my brain today. Anyway, tearaway sticky. And so what I want to talk about today is some things that you might use that for in a common way. And so if you have something that's not really hoopable, this is where you're going to come in handy with this. If you have something like a bib, you can't necessarily put this in the hoop. If you're doing, let me show you. I'm going to start from the beginning, and I'm going to move this so we can get this shot over here, and we're going to get this guy on this side. Okay, so I have hooped my sticky stabilizer, and it's the paper side up, and then the stabilizer's on the back. And you can tell because the stabilizer has kind of a rough texture, and then the top, the paper side is really smooth, and you can tell that it's paper. Now, to get the paper released from the stabilizer here, you score the paper. So you hoop it first. Don't take the paper off the stabilizer. You hoop it with the paper, and then you're going to score just the paper. Don't push so hard that you go through. And actually, OESD has a new little thing. It is the Perfect Scoring Tool, and this is really awesome because it scores just the paper. I don't know how they did it, but it's magic, and it scores just the paper. I'm not good enough to get a hold of the paper, though. There it comes. So then you can tear off just the paper layer. This works so much easier at home. Good gravy. It feels like a Monday. Anybody else out there having a Monday? I just want to know, are you having a Monday? Okay, so this will just tear off now, in theory. There we go. And then when you tear it off, you are going to come around and you can just tear into the hoop itself and tear off the paper. And I have a trash can down there. So, okay, so this is all we're going to do is just tear that off. And now we've exposed our sticky stabilizer right there. Okay, so now we can work with this. And the sticky stabilizer, like I said, is a tearaway. So you're going to use this for items that are they're not easily hooped. So if I wanted to do a bib. I could do that, and then it's going to hold it right in place while you embroider it. If you want to do something, well, like this, for example, I did this in the hoop with decorative stitches. So this, I couldn't hoop the vinyl, so I hooped a piece of sticky stabilizer, and then I put that in the hoop. Same thing with the flap of this bag. I cut it a little bit larger than the pattern piece, and I laid that into the hoop. Another thing that you can do with that, I'm going to bring this over so you can kind of see. If you have something fun, maybe you have a face mask or something. So you can't hoop that, but you could definitely put it in that hoop. If you want to do, this is a little baby washcloth, so you can put that in. But here's a fun thing you can do too. If you have a set of napkins, you can put all 4 in the hoop at one time. And then you can embroider them all at the same time and put a little design, a Christmas design or a Thanksgiving design or something, and then you've got them ready to go. That's pretty cool, right? So that's a really easy way to use your sticky stabilizer. And one other thing I want to show you with the sticky stabilizer is that if you're working with something that is napped, like velvet or something that is also has a loft like that, that would be really good, because then you're not going to get the hoop burn. And yes, Toby, it would be great if you have arthritis. This helps keep things so you're not having to hoop them. However, I am a hooper. And if I can get that critter in a hoop, I'm going to do that, because then you're going to get your best results. But a lot of people really do enjoy using a sticky stabilizer. It's also really good if you're going to be doing multiple hoopings. If you're doing a long piece and it needs to be moved, that makes it much easier there too. And another thing that you can do, and let's switch back to this camera over here, I think, is that you can do greeting cards. So all you need to do there is put them on your sticky stabilizer. Then you can embroider out a gift card, or like I said, nap fabric. This is just felt, but that is another item that you could pre-cut your shape, and then you can just stick it into the hoop. Really simple, really easy.
So they were asking about, is it easy with one that arthritis to peel it?
Oh, to peel it, I'm sorry. Is it easy to peel if you have arthritis? Yes, it would be. So, not on camera though. Nothing's easy on camera, but yes, it is. And I'll show you that again here in a second. So I'm going to put that one down, because now I want to talk to you about, oh, I didn't show you this. Let's go back. I'm going to show you how to do this piece. This is really pretty cute. This is just a little baby hat. So this is a really fun thing to do if you want to put a little design on the cuff. You can stick it right down, and then you can embroider right on it. Yep. And yes, you could use this on towels. That's perfect, because you don't want, well, no, not on towels. We're coming to towels. Okay. All right. Okay. So does that, if you have questions on that, let me know and we will go on. But let's talk about hooping things that you want to, that are difficult to hoop, but that you want to make sure that there's no stabilizer left afterward. So if I was doing a towel, I would use the Wet and Gone tacky, or the wash away kind, and that, which I know, can't you tell, it's white just like the other one, but this one is the wash away. And I want to give you a tip. Where did I put it? I think I put it in here. What I do, well, I put it in there, but now it's gone. Oh, I put it in this one. What I do with my labels, just as a hint, when I have my label, I'll take the label. The labels usually have like the name on the one side, and then on the back side it has instructions. I roll it up so the outside of the label is in my roll here, and then I slip it in here, so that way when I don't know what it is and I look inside my roll, I can read which stabilizer it is. So that's what I do with all my stabilizers. I say all my stabilizers, and yet these two don't have it in there. So apparently almost all my stabilizers. Okay, I suggest you do it with all your stabilizers, because once you get more than one roll, it becomes a little confusing. Okay, so here is my my stabilizer that is the Wet and Gone Tacky. And so, and that, or if you use the Aqua Mesh Plus, plus will mean sticky. Anytime you see that on like an OESD label, if it says plus, it's an adhesive. If it's tacky on the Floriani side, that means it has the paper release on it. So let's talk about some things that we would want to use the wash away for. So you would use this on an item that you want to, that you can't hoop very well, but you don't want to have any stabilizer left over. So that would be a perfect thing for a towel. Now, would I wash that towel before I gave it away? No, because you know the nap of the towel looks really, really nice when it's new, and if you take it out, you know, if you pull it away and then you trim around the outside edge, you don't have to wash it. When they wash it, it will come out, because the wash away stabilizers are they're a water soluble, and they wash out really easy, and they do not give you any problems in your pipe, so they'll just wash just perfectly fine. On the flip side, if I was doing a towel that had a Mickey Mouse that was full on stitched, no holes in it at all, then you could use it just a plain old tearaway sticky, because you would never see the stabilizer be trapped in all the threads. Okay, and would I use that for embroidering on ribbon? Oh, Kathy, you're with me. Hold tight for just a little bit. But yes, if you're just doing ribbon, you could use just the tearaway sticky, or depending on what you're embroidering, if that back of that ribbon will show, then use the wash away. Okay, so now let's do this a little bit, and this is a brand new tool. Here, I just opened it this morning, so I was kind of tentative on how hard I pushed, because I didn't want to push too hard, and I think that's why I had a little bit of a problem getting a hold of it before. So just test yours when you get it and see how easy it is. But I mean, this is so, oh, and I was not holding it hard. Did you see? I just, you know, just put a finger on it and draw across. Okay, so let's get this into the trash can, and we'll just tear this off. And you know that depending on the area of the country you live in, you may have, don't hoard your stabilizer. No matter where you are, don't hoard your stabilizer, use it, because your sticky may decrease depending on if you're in humid climate. It also may it may start getting weird, you know, just because of the weather that you may have. So have a spare roll on hand, but don't have 5 spare rolls on hand. Okay, so let's look at this. This is still tacky, so it's really easy to use. But if you're doing something on a sheer fabric, right? And this is a really pretty piece that was multiple hooped on sheer fabric. So you're able to move it once you've done your stitching, because you can stick it down and then just pick it up. And you'll notice that the stabilizer was just trimmed and then left here to be rinsed out. Okay? All right. So then, use that, oh, ribbon. Okay, then also if you're doing another sheer fabric, you don't want to have the white show through, right? If you're doing sheer fabrics, you want all that to rinse out. So that's why you would use this. Now this one was really fun. This is a multiple hooping, and I think let's go to the front camera so I can show you the size of this. This is a pashmina shawl that I did, and it's embroidered. You can see all the way around 3 of the edges. So it was really, really fun to do. Now we'll go back over here. And this one, I used the Wet and Gone Tacky, so that way I could hold it in the hoop in the right spot and do the embroidery and then move it. And when I went to move it, I would rough cut out the stabilizer around the outside edge of the design and then just go to the next place. And then I washed the whole thing. And so I also use the same color thread in the bobbin as in the needle, so it's reversible, and it's very difficult to tell which is the front and which is the back. But this is a really fun thing to do. You know, you could take anything and do something like this. Even take the edge of a blouse and you can do your reverse stitching on that. And then this one I wanted to show you because this was really kind of fun to do. And this is a blouse. Obviously it's a purchase blouse, but it's really fun because using sticky stabilizer, you're able to get your design to start exactly in the same spot on both sides, so they're a perfect mirror image from each other. And so that is really a fun thing to do. And with the sticky stabilizer, it made it, you know, you could do it. And I haven't even washed out my sticky stabilizer yet. It's still in there. So yeah. So that is how easy that is. Now let's talk about, well, actually I'm going to give, who was it that asked about the ribbon? It was Kathy, wasn't it? So Kathy, what I would do, can you all pretend with me that this is a cutting mat? I know, really lame, right? But I don't have a cutting mat here. What I would do, there's a couple of different things. It's over here, Carrie. Or that one. That one's fine. We're getting a cutting mat. So there's a couple things that I would do if I was doing a ribbon and I wanted to use the sticky stabilizer. So one is you could look at your nubbins. You got nubbins on either side of your hoop right here. And then I would take my handy dandy ruler and line it up and draw a line. Now, I would use a ballpoint pen, because I would draw that line and then I'll show you how I line it up. But I'm going to do it using my handy dandy mat here. So if you take the paper off of your stabilizer, and let me tip this so you can see. Can you see how you can see the lines through there? Right through the hoop? So I'm going to set this down right here, and I'm going to set my nubbin right up on a line. Okay, and then you can simply take your ruler, line it up, and draw your line. Now, like I said, I would use a ballpoint pen because you're not going to see it from there with this. This is a friction pen. So use a ballpoint pen so you can really see it. And I have my line right here. Then take your ribbon and line it up against that line. And then you can stitch. Now, since it's a ballpoint pen, if it's out here, that's going to get pulled away. So it doesn't matter that it's a ballpoint pen, which is really pretty handy. Okay, so that's if it's a lightweight ribbon. Let's talk about things that are really super duper difficult to hoop. Now, so we've done things that are hard to hoop. And then we've done things that are hard to hoop that you don't want to have any stabilizers showing. Now let's talk about having stuff that is disagreeable and doesn't want to be hooped. And that is where our Hydrastick comes in. And this is from OESD, and it is a firm, a little bit more than a medium weight tearaway. It's not a heavy, but it's just a little bit more. And then it has a starch magic stuff on the front side of it, and it's the slick side. You can see how it's getting a little bit of a sheen there. That is the side that you want to hoop straight up. Linda, hold on, I'm getting there. Linda asked about, what about dog colors? I'm getting there. So this stuff is amazing because it holds on to stuff whether it wants to be held onto or not. So let me grab my hoop that has this in it. And I've hooped it with the slick side up. There is no paper on this, none at all. So we're not going to be removing any paper. But this is how we're going to hoop the things that are extremely difficult to hoop or that want to get out of the hoop. So like this, this bag right here. See how the lid is attached? See, I haven't even torn it off yet, have I? But it's attached, so I want to hold that on, and this is going to get in my way. So I need an aggressive hold onto the hoop, okay? Other things that we're going to talk about today are socks, and I'm going to show you this little bag, and we're going to talk about webbing and doing dog collars and other things like that. So what we're going to do with this is the substance that's on the top, it's a starch-based product. It is water soluble, or it's water soluble, but also it's water activated. So let's take a look at the hoop area here. And I have one of the new water pens from R&K, and I'm just going to get the area where I want that webbing to be, just get it wet. Now you don't have to get it overly wet. You can get it lightly wet. This I got it really wet, but I can come over here. Let's make another spot here because maybe I want that sock, and then I'm going to do that bag. Okay, this is really handy to have. Okay, so I'm just going to spread that out a little bit, and I'm going to give it just a couple of seconds to start to kind of dry. So, and there we go. It's getting sticky. So I can put this down on, if this is my leash or my collar or whatever, or bag handle, whatever I want it to be. If I want, let's try this. This is just the tiniest little sock, and maybe I want to put a little ladybug on that. If you take this, now I'm going to stretch it out there, and I'm going to sit here and talk to you for a minute because I want to hold that in place while it sets. And I just have to make sure I have a little bit of patience because we added water, and then it's going to start to dry and set up. Then the other thing is, once you've embroidered this, you can tear it away, but it is a heavier tear away. I think he's going to stay. It's a heavier weight tear away than most, so you can moisten the back side of your item, and then you can, it will come off easier. And then this little bag, I found this, and I thought it was really cute, and you can totally embroider on that, but it's a made bag. So I'm just going to stick it down and let the stabilizer do it for me. And then it will hold it in place, and then that keeps everything out of the way. Now, earlier I showed you this and put this guy on the sticky. The reason why is because it's so loose and floppy, he didn't need to be held in submission. These guys need to be held in submission, right? So we've got our webbing, so you can do a collar. Look at this, the sock cuff is, and the rest is stuck, and the rest is just staying out of the way. I have the back of the sock is loose, and it's held out of the way because it's not stuck. And then we have this that's being held down. So really fun to be able to use sticky stabilizers. You're able to do a lot of things with them. You can hoop the unhoopable, which is really, really fun. So remember, if you have something that is just an odd shape, it's standard, but it's an odd shape, and you just need to get it in the hoop, that's what your sticky stabilizer is for. If it's something with the same thing, it's just an odd shape, and you need it in the stabilizer, but you don't want the stabilizer to show later, that will be your wash away sticky. And then if you have something that doesn't even want to go into a hoop, and you need an aggressive hold, that's what you use the Hydrastick for. Oh, and I should mention, let me get this out of the way. When this is completely dry, you're not getting this off. Extra sticky stabilizer. This is called Hydrastick. Hydrastick. Okay, so this stuff is not going to release once it's dried. And so what you do is you go from the back. I would take my sponge or whatever and moisten the stabilizer from the back and let it get damp, and then let it set for a second, and then it will come. I need to let it set a little bit more, but then it will come off. Okay, so you have to you want to moisten it to re-loosen that hold and that grip. So lots of fun. So again, I use the Perfect Stick from Perfect Stick Plus, Perfect Stick is the Perfect Stick that's sticky, and then we use the Wet and Gone Plus, or Tacky, which is the wash away, and then the Hydrastick. So you have. These two are available in our stores in both Floriani and OESD, and the Hydrastick is only made by OESD. So just come into our stores and we will get it for you and make your life easy. Instead of using scissors or a pin, use the scoring tool. It makes life so much easier. So Get yourself into a sticky situation and embroider something fun, and I look forward to seeing you the next time.